Welcome back to the Relocation Rundown. I'm Aaron,
I'm Jeff.
and we are the Aaron and Jeff team at Compass, your Bronx residential real estate experts.
We are so happy to have Racquel Hedin here with us to talk about all things Orange County, California. Racquel, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This is long overdue,
Long
and I'm
over.
glad to finally be on the podcast.
Yay. I'm so excited too. We have been to Southern California. We've been last year. We really know nothing about Orange County. I guess we were there because we went to Disneyland.
Yes.
But I don't really know what sets Orange County apart from the LA area or where the real boundaries are. So why don't you first of all, introduce yourself, tell us where you live, where your business is, then tell us about Orange County.
Yes. So I'm Racquel, as you just said. I was born and raised specifically in Costa Mesa, California, which borders Newport Beach, if you've ever heard of it. So that's where I was born and raised. I do residential real estate in the Orange County area. I've been in the business for almost 9 years now, or I think I'm on my 9th year.
Yeah.
Started in 2016 and joined Compass in 2017. So I've been part of the Compass family for a long time. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually made the move to Long Beach, which is not in Orange County. It's technically in Los Angeles County, but it's basically right in between LA and OC, like the bridge. And yeah, so I've started to expand my business that way and learn my new city that I call home. But I'm in Orange County every single day, helping clients, seeing my family. My whole family lives here, and the food is good here, so I'm always back for the food. But yeah, that's a little spiel about me.
So tell me a little bit about, as somebody who's not a California person, right? What's the biggest differences between living in LA County and in Orange County?
Yeah, what's the vibe?
I'd say the easiest way to describe it, and I'm going to ruffle feathers no matter what I say, because we're all very
Yes,
opinionated.
please do it.
OC is I'd say more surfer vibes, laid back. People will say Newport Beach isn't laid back. It's a little bit different, more luxury. But overall, I think OC, Huntington Beach, Laguna Beach, San Clemente, Seal Beach, we have a ton of beach vibes. So lots of surfer. LA, I think, is a little bit more into the film and food, and I don't think beach when I think of LA. However, there's Malibu and Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach. So they have beaches, but when I think classic beach, you think of the OC show and Laguna Beach.
I'm thinking thinking of Laguna Beach and the hills.
Yes, exactly. That's the perfect. If you've watched both of those shows, it can kind of show you the difference between the two cities. But yeah, or two counties.
And so now that you've moved kind of towards LA County, are you feeling that difference in vibe or?
Yes, which it's so hard to put into words, but Long Beach is very different from LA. I think it's its own pocket, and it's very different from OC. The Long Beach area is super diverse. The food scene is incredible in its own way, and there's so much to do, and it's a completely different feel than Orange County. People don't really cross either way. So Long Beach is technically a part of Los Angeles, but it's far. So it's a 45-minute drive or so with traffic, give or take, from Orange County and from LA. I'm kind of right in the middle. It's its own melting pot of people and food and activities. So yeah.
You grew up in Orange County and now you just turned 30, right?
I did, yes.
So, I mean, you've been in the area for 3 decades. How has it changed from when you were growing up to now being an adult in Orange County?
I think I'll just speak specifically about where I grew up in Costa Mesa, Newport Beach. Obviously, financially, it's changed. The values have skyrocketed. I was looking at numbers the other day, and since 2020, we've had a 50 to 60% appreciation. I think the median in Orange County, median sales price was $750, and now it's 1.2, and that's across the county. If you're looking in Newport, it was $2 million 2 years ago, and now it's almost $4 million. So we're really seeing appreciation. As thinking back to my childhood, I think it's just starting to feel a little bit more luxury. And a lot of places, I think people are recognizing the value, and a lot of businesses are starting to come to Orange County. So we're getting all these new restaurants down from LA. And yeah, it's just starting to like the area is getting spruced up. We have a lot of new stuff coming in, and it's changing a lot in a great way. I'm a foodie, so I love anything new.
What kind of people are moving to Orange County? And like what's drawing people there?
Well, obviously the weather. We have amazing weather all the
Besides
time.
the
It's
weather,
beautifully,
we all know.
yeah, the weather. I think if someone wants to move here and it's not related to like a job relocation, I think people come. Well, here's a perfect example. My husband's from Minnesota, and
This is a great
he
example, yeah.
he loves California because of the weather. He loves that he can do outdoor activities all the time. Like everyone's hiking at the beach, surfing. It's just a very active community. So that's why he wants to be here, and that's why most people want to be here. And I don't realize how much I take it for granted until I visit his hometown. I was just there in February and it was snowing, and I think it was 0 degrees. It was frigid. So when we came back and I took my dog on a walk and it was like 75 in February, I was like, this is why I live here. So a lot of people come for that. To be honest, I was trying to think about all my clientele that I've helped relocate over the years. Most of the time, I feel like it's a job relocation. It is very expensive here. I usually see people leaving for more affordable options elsewhere. They're going to Texas, Idaho, Florida. That's kind of where a lot of people have been moving that I've encountered in my
Yeah,
business.
we've been seeing similarly people moving from New York City into those areas, the cheaper states, the Carolinas, the
Yeah.
Floridas, the Texas.
Yeah.
As somebody who grew up in South Florida with the warm weather, one of the reasons I moved to New York was to kind of get away from it. I wanted the
Hmm.
seasons. Do you ever kind
Yes.
of feel like you're missing out on that? Does your Minnesota
Yes.
husband miss it?
Well, I feel like you could
He does
be
not miss it.
if
Go ahead.
you could be in the mountains pretty quickly, right? And like see snow and get some
Yes.
cold.
Well, I will say I think that I would thrive somewhere else with seasons. I love fall. Like fall's my season. And I
Yeah.
love Christmas. So I'm like, I want a snowy white Christmas. But then once I'm there and you have to see the day to day and like the snowy slush, I can't do it. I don't think I could actually, I think I want to be that person, and I don't think I could actually handle it. But as Aaron was saying, we are really close to the mountains. So Big Bear is somewhere I've gone all throughout my childhood. A year ago, I did a little cabin trip um, and got to enjoy some of the snow, got a little Airbnb. And then we also are really close to the desert. So Palm Springs, La Quinta. So you kind of are like centrally located to a ton of options. So if you're bored of the beach, you can go to the mountains or the desert. You kind of have it all. I'll just to say, I get nervous saying certain things comparing areas because people get really pissed off. So I started to melt. Like if I'll get into that later. Well, if someone was like, describe LA versus Newport, LA would be like, they're pretentious. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know how else to say it.
Feel free to say that.
I mean, it's, frankly, for where we are too, right? We are in New York City, and so we do a lot, but we sell the Bronx, and the
Yeah.
Bronx has a stigma that's not quite Manhattan, and yet we also have, it's not
Hmm.
quite Brooklyn either, but we also have, the neighborhood of Fieldston, which is like beautiful mansions and luxury homes. And when
Hmm.
we say we live in Riverdale, there are people who say that's not the Bronx. So, there are always parts of
Totally.
every
So you
area
get it.
that's going
Yeah.
to be different.
Let's talk about the home buying process in Orange County and LA. Like, what kind of nuances are there that people coming from other markets and other parts of the country may not really be used to? Like, what kind of differences are
The first thing that comes to mind, just because I've dealt with this with clients, is so I've had a lot of people move from Northern California to Southern California, and they do things differently in Northern California. So here, you don't get anything before you open escrow unless the seller has elected to do a pre-listing inspection, which isn't, that's pretty rare that they do. So you're typically going in blind, like you saw the property, you were able to ask questions to the agent. Hopefully they're responsive. But you open escrow, and then it's your time to conduct all of your inspections, get your seller disclosures, and learn about the property and decide if you'd like to stay in the deal. A lot of my clients moving from Northern California are used to being provided reports up front and disclosures up front. So they're not going to write an offer if they're not happy with what they read about the property. So here it's a little bit tricky. People are upset whenever I work with them that they're going in and having to pay for the inspection report when they could have just done it up front. So that is something to navigate. Obviously, you can cancel if you're not happy with the findings, but you are having to pay for that home inspection and any secondary inspections,
Can
and
we
then
zoom in
typically
there for a
appraisal.
second? Because that's
Yeah,
interesting to me. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So when it comes to, for example, the seller side of the
hmm
business, you have 2 or 3 buyers who all may be interested,
hmm
and none of them have done the due diligence necessary to feel confident in the offer they're making because they're going in blind. How does a seller not end up in a situation where they open escrow and quickly afterwards the buyer walks?
I think it's such the norm here that people aren't really nervous about it. It's just the way we do things. However, I've had many sellers that I've recommended to do pre-listing inspections. Say, let's pay to get this done, which a lot of them don't want to pay. But if they're willing, then we can provide this report up front. There's no surprises. You can do repairs in advance if you want it to go swimmingly. But I'm in escrow right now on a condo in Orange County, in Stanton specifically. It's priced at $550. It's been on the market over 100 days, and they just fell out of escrow with somebody else. It was a first-time home buyer, and there was some moisture staining in a closet and some visible mold. And to a first-time home buyer, it really freaked them out, and they couldn't keep the deal together, and they canceled. I just went into escrow with my client. He's a little bit more savvy. He's purchased properties. He's not scared of the mold situation. We got the previous report. We were given it. We got to review it all, and he still opted to do his own inspection just in case, because you got to do your due diligence, and he was fine with it. The seller could have avoided all of that if they did an inspection up front, but again, it's not the norm. So I would say in our area, uh, if it's just more normal to do it once we open escrow and then request repairs or credits. So we're not really waiving inspection in our area, or at least I'm not. I never advise my clients to because we don't get those reports. The only time I see people waiving is if it's like an investor, he knows what he's doing, he's going to scrap the property anyways. So yeah, we're not waiving inspection here at least. We waive appraisal and loan, but not inspection. And then the other thing I wanted to say was we have termites in California. When I talk to my friends in Minnesota, they don't deal with that. So we're always getting a termite report and having to either put it in the agreement up front, which we're not really doing ever since COVID and things got more competitive, or you're doing a repair request for clearance before closing or for credits for that. But every house has termites. It's just a thing here. So
Now, how
yeah.
competitive is the market still compared to the height of COVID?
Yeah, there's still competition, but it's so much more calm in my opinion. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and because it's not very affordable in Orange County, there's not a lot of inventory, and that million or like our first-time home buyer price point is like 1.3 and under, I'd say. In 2022, I was dealing with like 10 to 40 offers on every property, and it was the wild, wild west. Now I'm seeing it depends, like some are sitting, some are not. But if it's priced well and showing well and it's under 2 million, I feel like they're still getting like 5 to 6 offers.
Where do you feel like properties are sitting the most? Like, where are the slowest kind of markets in Orange County right now, where you might be able to like get a deal and not be?
It's so hard to say. Every area in Orange County is so different and has so many different pockets. Where are they? I think the area that I like to point a lot of my first time home buyers to, at least, and a lot of them want deals, if they want a single family home, I tell them to explore Long Beach because there are pockets of Long Beach with great school districts. You get a single family home, you get that lot size for cheaper, you get more bang for your buck. In Orange County specifically, most buyers of mine are looking in South County. So that's like Mission Viejo, Lake Forest, Ladera Ranch, San Clemente, closer to Laguna Beach. But I've started to see it get more and more expensive. So I wouldn't say you could like snag a deal there, but you could get a single family home for far more affordable than where I grew up, Costa Mesa. This used to be so affordable, and now everyone who can't buy in Newport is buying in Costa Mesa, and the prices are going up like crazy.
Now, you and your husband bought a condo 2 years ago, right?
Almost, I think 4 years ago. It was 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
so obviously you don't have a single family home. Like obviously there are options besides single family homes. Is
Mhm.
there like townhouses? Are there like here we have co-ops? I don't know like what kind of
Yeah, so it depends on the area, but we have tons of condos, townhomes, PUDs,
what?
planned unit development. So like in so for example, in Newport Beach, most neighborhoods are like single family homes.
Eh,
If you go over into Costa Mesa, you'll see a lot of more multifamily. You'll see apartment complexes, you'll see duplexes, and then these PUDs, planned unit developments, where it's like a big driveway and there's like six houses in the
Mm.
driveway,
God.
but it feels more like a proper house. It's not just a condo. Like, so my personal condo in Long Beach kind of lives like an apartment. There are 22 units. It's single level. So yeah, there's a huge variety. Whenever I'm talking to my clients who are hell bent on the single family home, I have to have a backyard, I have to have this. I'm like, let's just get your foot in the door in Orange County real estate. Buy something that works for you location wise and checks enough of your boxes, live there for 5 years, and then use that to get into the house that you really want.
You mentioned that a lot of people who come to Orange County are coming there for work primarily. Are there big companies or big industries that are bringing people to Orange County specifically? Are they commuting to LA and this is them living outside of the busier county? Who's coming?
It's hard to say. So again, there are plenty of people moving here because they want to. I've just had a lot of people relocating for work. I don't think it's been industry specific for at least my clients, but it's not like Northern California where they have, what is it?
Yeah, the Silicon
Tech. Thank
Valley.
you. Yeah. Um, so I don't think there's anything specific that I can pinpoint. A lot of people actually are working from home, but then they have to like go in the office once a week. So they're like, I need to be close enough to go in sometimes, but I also want to be in an area I like. So when they're relocating here, I kind of talk to them about like what's important to you. Do you want more space? Do you want to be in the mix of everything? Do you want to be walking distance to stuff? Our school district's important. So we kind of talk about that, and then we look at the commute for that one day. So I don't have a ton of clients commuting every day. If someone's commuting to LA, like my husband, he has to commute to LA most days. That's why we moved to Long Beach, because it's a little bit in between. It's like the bridge between the two cities, in my opinion.
Public transportation? Is that a thing in there?
So it's a thing in Long Beach. When we moved there, there's a metro that can take you to LA. Public transportation in OC, just buses,
Okay.
really. That's it.
Buses that nobody actually takes.
People take up, I mean, yeah, I'd say in Newport Beach and Costa Mesa, less,
Yeah.
but definitely people using public transportation. It's just nothing revolutionary, just
And
some.
is the traffic, really bad compared to like what we hear about LA County?
Yes, I would say so. So I drive back and forth all the time. I have friends in LA. I have friends in South County, Orange County. The traffic is just the 405 goes through it all, and it's awful. I feel like the worst traffic, this means nothing to you, but whenever I'm going to like Orange on the 55 North, the 55, because everybody mocks Californians and how we talk about freeways, that's the worst to me. You just want to die. But I get the toll road, and I.
Yeah, we flew into LA and the Uber ride to Anaheim was pretty darn slow.
Yeah, it was not quick.
Yeah,
No,
what time of day was it? Probably
Uh,
strategic.
It was morning.
Yeah, it was morning.
early.
It was early morning. So that's probably why.
Okay.
Rush hour.
Yeah.
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 That makes
I mean,
sense.
I feel like it's always the worst going towards LA, more so coming this way, but you're always going to have some.
How do you afford to drive there with $6 a gallon for gas?
That's such a good question. You just do it.
Do
I
it.
got
You just
gas yesterday and I was like, wow, it's still high.
that is
Like, what
so.
else am I supposed to do? A lot of
How
people get electric cars, but I don't have time to charge.
We have a friend who just got rid of his electric car because it was a pain in the ass to charge, and
Yeah.
he just did not have the charger himself.
well, because I guess we have a
Mhm.
lot of Tesla superchargers around
Yeah.
here. And he got a Chevy Bolt maybe, or like
Mm.
a just something else, not a Tesla,
And it's not
Yeah.
it's not compatible, and it takes like
Did he
so.
know that when he got it?
I think he knew, and
didn't understand the implication of
he just thought it would be fine.
I just think I would end up like deserted in the middle of nowhere
he just ends up
because I forgot to
super
charge it. I mean, I do that with gas. I forget to get gas, and then I'm like watching it dwindle, and I'm hoping I'll survive. I've been at LAX on 0 miles, and it's a scary place to be.
That's what AAA is for. They'll bring you gas.
but we
Yes.
were in Joshua Tree
Oh
and we almost ran
Beautiful.
out of gas,
yeah, but we
Not,
and it was like 115 that day. It was not good.
so
I
obviously
wouldn't
like
recommend.
nobody was there.
In the desert, you make sure you have gas.
Yeah,
You
I did
can't.
not do that. That was a mistake.
So we learn. We live and we learn.
Mhm.
I want to talk about food because I know it's
Yes,
very important
please.
to you as it is to
Yeah.
us. So what are your favorite? What are some of your favorite restaurants? Where are some of your favorite like new places to go for quality eats?
So OC is filled with great recommendations, but again, I'm going to like zero in on where I grew up because that's where I'm always, and I think they have the best food. Anytime I go visit my friends in South County, I feel a little bit bored. Don't tell them that. Hope they don't watch this. But food, I love favorites. Well, okay, so we have a place called Nick's Restaurants. Kind of gives a Houston's vibe, or not Houston's, or like the Hillstone Group, if you've ever had Hillstone Group. But they are located in Laguna Beach, and they just opened up here in Newport. And then they are also in, I think, San Clemente and in Long Beach. But I've always gone to the Laguna Beach location. It's just top tier food, absolutely amazing. And they have really good drinks. They have this butter cake that'll blow your mind. Otherwise, for a restaurant, there's just so many options. Like you could go down on the peninsula near the beach and try, I mean, PCH has so many options
Where do you
on the
go?
water.
Where are the places that you love and that you would recommend to your friends?
I'm so indecisive. You guys are really getting me. So I like this place called Olea in Costa Mesa. It's so good. I like American. I get like, well, actually, I think they even have some Italian. There's like a chicken schnitzels on the menu, which is interesting. I never see that. But I kind of get a steak every time I go and some baked oysters.
Mm.
I love sushi, so I frequent a lot of sushi spots. We just had a sugarfish open in Corona Del Mar, which is basically Newport Beach.
Where did we just?
They have
Orlando.
Yeah, I almost went Orlando.
there are a lot of places. But if I wasn't eating at Sugarfish, I like a place called Sushi Etc. in Costa Mesa or Yuzu Sushi in Costa Mesa. I have lots of eats.
You guys must have really great seafood out there.
Absolutely. Actually, heartbreakingly, we have this place called Santa Monica Seafood, and they're located in Santa Monica, but they've been in Costa Mesa for almost 30 years, and they just shut down. And everyone in the community is talking about that it's like a death in the community.
Why
They
did
are
they shut down?
heartbroken. Their rent got tripled.
Damn.
Yeah.
The community
So
should have revolted.
we are all pissed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've done videos there. They have the most amazing seafood market. My family's gone there for 30 years. Oysters, fresh crab cakes, sashimi grade fish, smoked fish. Like we get everything from there for the holidays all summer long. We're at the beach. If you've ever heard of the Wedge, like a famous surf spot, where we kind of go near the wedge. We're there Saturday, Sunday until we're sunburnt. And then we would stop at Santa Monica, seafood on the way home, and go barbecue at my parents' house. So lots of memories, and it just shut down. But there's plenty of seafood. A good recommendation is Bear Flag Fish Co. In the area, they've got one on Lido in Newport, and then they're, I think, in Huntington as well. They've got really good poke. If you like seafood. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I like Pokemon.
It's not the same thing.
Okay, I see what you did
No.
there.
No. It was shut
I
down.
love a
like
good
that.
joke. I was like, is that a restaurant? Just kidding.
What advice do you have for people moving to California?
Anytime you're relocating, it's really stressful. Anytime I've helped a family, there's a lot of emotions, lots of feelings. I do my best to showcase all the areas that they're looking. They hopefully can come fly in for some showings, but honestly, that's really stressful because something's going to pop up and you won't have a flight booked and it could be gone by the time you get down here. What I found is easiest is me going to film properties. I don't ever FaceTime because I've found I can get a more detailed video just doing it myself, and then they can rewatch it over and over again. So I've sold quite a few sight unseen, but we're kind of talking through multiple areas. I'm filming the surrounding street for them. I'm showing them things on a map, talking about what they'd get if they moved into this community, but kind of talking through what's important to them. Then I'll preview the homes if they can't come, and then they would see it for the first time at that home inspection, hopefully. So I'd say if they have to buy right away or they'd prefer to buy right away, work with someone who really knows the area and gives you like as many videos and visuals as you can and make sure you have a good understanding of the area. Otherwise, I'd recommend renting. I would move here and get a rental and explore, even if it's a year rental. Like take time to figure out like what pocket is the one that you best fit into. They're so different. And it's expensive here. I want you to like where you're going to end up and you might not know. I've been in Long Beach for almost 5 years now and I'm still like falling in love with different parts of the city and learning so much. Like I feel like I've been there for a day.
What's your favorite thing?
Newport Beach. I like specifically L Street on the Balboa Peninsula, just where my family's always gone. A lot of people will take like their kids to Second Street, like the numbered streets, and that's because the waves break out a lot further and you can walk out in the water pretty far.
Oh, cool.
At L Street, so it goes like numbers and then it hits the pier and then it goes A Street through W. We go to L Street and it's shore break. So the waves are breaking on the shore and the water's deeper, and I like that better. So I go there. This is problematic. I don't like Huntington Beach.
Why?
I feel like you're either Newport or you're Huntington. I don't like the vibes as much. It is Surf City, USA, but I just don't like the beach as much. I don't like the sand. It's different sand, different water, different people. I like that Newport Beach feels a little bit more quiet. Huntington is a little bit more busy and a lot of more tourists. I mean, tourists are in Newport too, but a lot more going to Huntington. And I don't really go to like Laguna Beach for the beach. There's a lot of rocks. People will go. They're beautiful. It's beautiful
Yeah,
there.
of course.
I'll
But
go
it's
and
not
I'll
like a
hike.
sunshine beach.
Yeah. I'll go eat, do a hike. I'll look at the water, but I won't beach there.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense.
that was long-winded.
I loved it. It was great. It was exactly what I
Okay.
wanted. This has been awesome. I really appreciate you finally coming onto the pod.
Tell people who are listening where they can find you, follow you, and stay in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. It's at Sell with Racquel, Racquel. And yeah, I'm posting on stories all the time. Would love to meet some new people, interact. Other than that, I have a website in the works, but you can go to my Compass page for now at sellwithracquel.com. And that's about it. Yeah, it's great, right? You'll never forget it.
So great. Well, thank you again. I'm Aaron,
I'm Jeff.
Thank you.
and we are the Aaron and Jeff team at Compass, and this has been the Relocation Rundown. See you next time.